Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings online, and I'm actually going to be playing my Rune Keeper on Anor. It's been a very long time since I have played him in group content with my kinship, and that is exactly what I am planning on doing today. So I realize there's no in-game audio now that I started the stream, so I will fix that as I head to go get my subscriber town services and all that usual starter stuff as we wait for people to actually get into the stream. But just as a heads up, especially for people that might come watch this as a video later, the group content is expected to start in about 15 minutes. That would be 8 o'clock server time. But anyway, I need to get my audio working so we can actually hear it. And I believe that should be better. So this character's inventory really is a mess. That's the story of most of my characters, but especially so it looks like with my Rune Keeper. I have a bunch of different things going on that could really use some cleaning, and hopefully when I get the town services I can put most of the stuff in my vault and shared storage, and that should take care of hopefully pretty much everything. Okay, go ahead and finish that. Then yeah, for my Rune Keeper, I did want to put most of my crafting stuff in my vault, but it looks like my vault is quite full. One thing I did want to maybe do if there was time was do some crafting on my Rune Keeper, the character I'm on. I keep mentioning that class name, but that is what I am playing. So ideally with the Anorian tier, which I'm already at, I can craft some of the Host of the West stuff, but I need the bolts of Rushcloth, which I believe my Warden would have. So the issue is this character does not have those, and my Warden would have those. So I might bounce around characters and do some crafting in the downtime. But yeah, pretty much the plan is to just settle this character, do a little bit of organizing, and get settled with him before the actual group content. There is one quest I need to do to prepare, but it takes like 5 minutes, and since I have 15 minutes, that gives me about 10 minutes of travel and all that, and then 5 minutes to do that quest is kind of what I was estimating. I do want to say hello to everybody in the kin. And one more thing I want to point out is I do have some exciting news. Some people might have seen I made a post on YouTube, which would be for people that don't know how to see that. I think it can pop up sometimes on the home screen or the app or something like that. But if you go to my community tab, you can see my posts. And I have a lot of Virtue XP things, but that is not what the post is about. The post is about me doing an interview with LOTRO's producer next week. So I wanted to poll viewers, so people who would watch streams or my videos or whatever, to see what questions they wanted to ask for. Kind of the second half of the interview is the tentative plan. So if you have any questions you want asked, you can comment that, and then also thumbs up the ones that you do want to see, because there will probably be a lot of things, different things people will comment. So to narrow it down to something that would actually fit in the interview, I'm taking the most popular ones, essentially. Alright, I really have to do something. I'm just looking at this mess of my inventory and I don't even know where to begin because my vault is full. That's like the start of all the issues, is my vault being full. I have a bunch of stuff I just don't really need on this character in here, is what I feel like. Like these dyes I don't care all that much about. I have so many different, what would these things be? Cosmetic things that I also don't care about. I have height bolt armor. Probably won't do the height bolt armor. I can go ahead and destroy that, I think. I don't know if I can sell that. I cannot sell that, but I think that is worth it destroying. I think I could get it fairly easily again. Going to check one thing here. Okay, so that frees up 4 whole slots in my vault. Perhaps the Virtue XP items, I don't know if I want to go ahead and use those. Maybe I can go ahead and just use those on this character. If I can type the right button, that would be J. So I want to see what this character's virtues are. The problem, I guess, with this character is I don't really know that he'd become a long-term character where I really care about his virtue XP, to be honest. That's the issue I talk about in a lot of my videos, especially recently, and even some of my streams, is a lot of characters that aren't going to be my main on this server on Anor, and all my other low-level characters, which is basically every other character I have besides maybe Louisden on Arkenstone and some of my 120s from the Valor, they aren't really long-term characters where I care about their progression all that much at this point. Okay, my inventory at least looks cleaner. That is some progress. And I did not send all the Virtue XP items. Sometimes I like skipping this part when I am planning on streaming. Sometimes I like skipping this part, the inventory management, but sometimes I also like doing it just to show basically the process I go through when I have to manage the inventory on my characters. And right now it really does feel like quite the process. These are some really nice outgoing healing rings. I know they're level 100, but for an item with actual outgoing healing at this level is pretty nice. I don't plan to heal on this character. I guess there's a small chance, depending on the group, if we don't have a healer, that is what I would have to do. I see a few people on my kin are already in the way, so it'd actually be convenient and helpful if I could get a port there. But anyway, we don't need the virtue panel anymore, and I think just put a few more things in my vault, and then I will clean up my sellable items. So perhaps something like bolts of elven cloth, I don't really need those. Didn't need to put the Westonnet herbs, that's something I could actually just sell if I really wanted. Alright, time to put a bunch of stuff in. Oh, those single power potions. Yeah, these potions, that is a good point. They really do take up a lot of inventory, and they're just essentially useless, most of them. It cannot really destroy stuff like that. That's just, I like to hoard things and save them until I really need them, and the problem is those power potions give so little power that they usually aren't worth saving, especially the tier 2 and tier 3 ones here. These are the really not that useful ones. One thing I have a few ideas for essences. That is not the right word, but essences. I thought about making a video on essences, but it'd also be nice if those could just be in one thing. That would be helpful. And I have all these random potions. These ones are actually a little bit more useful, but I do have a lot of these random ones. Some of them are like, so sometimes there's a weekly coupon from the LOTRO store. Sometimes I get potions from that, and they won't stack with the other ones. And then the Hobbit presents and all that sort of stuff. And that is why sometimes they don't stack like the ones in my inventory. But what I need to do on the Rune Keeper is this intro quest. I just have to defeat 20 foes real quick. So this is what I was estimating would take me 5 minutes, and that's actually quite the short timer, but killing 20 foes should not be that hard. It looks like people are already gathering in Discord. I'm used to my kin people usually being a little bit, I don't know people being late, but us getting started a little bit late. Perhaps that is not the case today. Maybe people are really excited to get with the waste group content, which I am doing. I should point out at level 101, so I'm going a little bit under leveled. Should be an interesting experience, I think, especially for doing the solo stuff here. My Rune Keeper is not quite as well built as my Warden. Of course, being 4 levels lower does not help, but also like my Imbued Ally is not as good. My Healing Rune Bag is a temporary 3rd age one. It's just that it's one of those things, because I don't plan to do all that much on this character in the long run. It's just that way that I don't really focus on building him up when I still need to build my Warden on this server up. I think I ran out of enemies. Somebody killed all these slugs and such. Oh, I have stuff in that. One thing I am excited today is to get back to group content with my kin on Anora. I feel like it's been a long time since I've actually played with them. And I'm thinking the last time I did play with them was when we did waste group content as well, but that was such a long time ago and I don't remember doing anything. I don't even know if I've played with them since Update 30 released. Actually I did, we did the Moria instances, maybe that was the last thing we did. The last thing we did where I was actually present, that is. But yeah, the waste instances, the 2 resource instances and the landscape stuff on Langruven I think is pretty fun, and I'm excited to get back to it on the Rune Keeper, partially because the Rune Keeper was buffed and it just gives me a little bit of variety. I almost feel like I need a small break from Warden. I was playing my Warden so much that I have mentioned this a few times, but I feel like I got burnt out on my Warden on this server. And almost by extension, a little bit with Louisden. I haven't quite gotten my fill of spellcasting. I think I'd talk about this a few times, but usually in games, I tend towards mage-like things. So in like World of Warcraft, my main character was a mage, also a shaman, but there's nothing quite like that in LOTRO. But anyway, that is usually the type of thing I gravitate towards, even though I mostly play Warden and LOTRO. It's nice to get back to the spellcaster. According to my own time limit, I think I have about 3 minutes left to get the last 10 slugs, or the last 10 foes, doesn't have to be slugs. Just run in another circle and hope I find 10 more. That felt like a very pointless Smoldering Wrath. I'm still not sure on the Fire Rune Keeper. I'm hoping to test it with group content today, of course, but the strength of Smoldering Wrath compared to all the other skills, especially the downtime skills of like Fiery Ridicule and Rid of Fire, it just feels a little bit off to me. Like, I'm happy the Fire Rune Keeper was buffed, definitely. It's one of the things that motivates me to play this character. They were also slightly changed with some of their things. For anybody that didn't know, with Update 30, I believe, I don't remember exactly, but the cooldown I thought of Essay of Fire, Essence of Flame, and Smoldering Wrath, maybe all 3 of those skills were changed, but I don't remember exactly. So I like the flow of the gameplay. It just feels weird with the balance of the damage distribution between the skills is kind of how I feel about it at the moment. Two more foes. I was thinking people in my group would be getting free loot this whole time, but it looks like I am the one doing pretty much all the looting. I guess everybody is too far away. Some periods these people are getting things, but getting free loot for me doing that intro quest. So doing this intro quest, the Slag Hills, that will open up all the actual fellowship quests. This one, to defeat 20 enemies, didn't really require much of a fellowship to defeat 20 of these things, as you all saw. They were pretty regular enemies. But this one will open the actual fellowship quest in Langruven. So we will do all the stuff in Langruven that opens the waste resource instances, then I think run 1 or 2 of those resource instances. And there is a chance I will switch to my Warden for those resource instances, just because I have whatever thing you need to get like loot at the end. So that is a possibility that I will actually switch to my Warden for one of those. But otherwise, I plan to mostly play on the Rune Keeper. I feel very squishy. My health is very low. It's very low compared to my Warden, who I essentially stack Vitality on, actually, just because I am capped on basically all the offensive stats, I think. The next thing up is Vitality, but my Rune Keeper is not quite yet at that point. One reason, because he's level 100, and oddly enough, a lot of the level 95 crafted armor was very good for level 100. Especially if you did not have all the epic battle jewelry, which this character had some, but not enough of the level 100 stuff where I like capped on offensive stats then would do the same thing. Didn't really get that far on my Rune Keeper. As far as I've gotten on him is basically just leveling him, and I've gotten a few of the trait points. I am curious how many trait points I do have. I have 73. That means I am missing 7 trait points, I believe, on him, and maybe 2 more for leveling. So that would be 5 trait points. I know there are 2 from both the book quests and from Old Enorian that I am missing. And then there is 1 more, I think, from the latest book quest, which I still haven't even done on my Warden, actually. I kind of forgot about that. This reminded me, this character missing that trait point reminded me that my Warden is missing that as well. Okay, so I think I will go ahead and connect with my kin on Discord and make sure I am on push to talk, because I know I've been going on and off that kind of frequently lately. But for people that don't know, they will be on my headphones, so y'all will not hear the Discord chatter, but I will be on push to talk with them, as usual. Okay, all looks good there. Hello. Okay, I have all that set, but somebody in our Discord is... I don't think they know they have their mic on right now. It's just blowing a lot of air into it.
What news have you from the lands of Gondor?
Oh. I also don't remember what this character... I see I have these major legacy things. I guess I have my first imbued ally, which was a lightning runestone, if I remember correctly. I might switch it to fire, but I don't think I would use that for it. Don't think I need the Essence of Vitality, although I could maybe actually use that on my Warden as something temporary. Don't think I need the Enorian armor anymore. This one was physical mitigation, don't need that. I should just lock the things instead of sell everything individually. I will lock all the things. Minas Tirith Midsummer, probably won't do that on this character. I wanted at some point to do a Midsummer stream. I'm thinking potentially Sunday for that. So as a preview, I have quite a busy weekend and week planned. Hopefully it actually is busy, unlike the last time I had that planned, which was, if I remember correctly, 2 weekends ago. So that was quite a while ago, but hopefully, as far as YouTube content goes, it is actually busy in a good way. Okay, let's go and sell all that, and look how clean my inventory is now. I have over 2 full rows of empty spaces. That is pretty hard to achieve on my characters. I am happy with that. I like that basic armor set. It looks like, I don't mean this in a bad way, but like something you'd see a level 10 wearing, like the level 7 crafted armor set or something like that, but I like the simplicity of it. That looks like a very thematic cosmetic set for where we are. He looks like he is ready to go to Erebor already. Looks like we actually have a raid. That was slightly concerning for when we actually get to the 6-man resource instances, but we will see then. I think we're about to get started. I have a question. Will you all want me in heal mode? Or is potentially Glor or Bana healing? We'll see if I have to heal. We will see if I'm healing. In their absence, we will destroy that. That is something very old. Talk about things I can do to clean my inventory. Getting rid of that. Could probably get rid of these type of things as well. Alright, that is fine, especially since I'm a little bit low level. I am squishy though, so I might go down real quick as well. It's been a while since I've healed, so I'm definitely happy healing. I don't think I could do quite that much as a level 101 compared to the rest of the group damage-wise. I don't know why I got on my regular steed instead of my war steed. Thought something felt a little bit slow. Good old environment of the waste. That's one problem when I try to get screenshots for thumbnails. When I do this zone, everything looks ugly, and I feel like people won't want to click on videos with ugly thumbnails, but that is just the reality of this zone, so perhaps it is okay. I don't think the thumbnail today actually turned out to be that ugly of a background. I notice my FPS is getting a little bit low. I'm guessing it is Chrome taking up all my CPU. No, it is not actually. Okay, now things should be a lot smoother. Oh yeah, we are going up. I forgot we go to the northern end of this to start the quest chain. Somebody is loud on Discord. That's one problem. A lot of people on Discord can often be inconsistent in their volume. Oh, almost ran too far. I don't know how much healing I'll have to do on the landscape here. when we did this last time, of course, I was on my warden, but I don't remember having too many issues with people dying. But I assume we actually had healers. Might have had minstrel healing, if I remember correctly. I think we are waiting on one more person. It looks like they actually did get summoned. What are the rewards for the dailies again? Okay. Okay. Yeah, my warden still mainly needs essences is the big thing. Haven't been doing my flower dailies. So far, not many people are taking much damage, but it is just the first fight. The horses are on the, yeah, back right, I thought. They're around the inn in Langruven. The Reuben Inn. So I think we're heading to the horses and then maybe getting some of the stuff along the way. I might try switching to fire. Hello, Ulysses Noriega? 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 I feel like there are so many potential ways to announce that, but I'm glad you think this is awesome. I believe it is fun as well, but could be more fun if I am burning them with fire instead of keeping everybody in my fellowship alive, so we will see how it goes. I'm probably going to put the do not fall on the captain, although I don't expect them to die. That was actually nice, getting the full Smoldering Wrath. That's something I mentioned I wanted to test. The fire gameplay in a group setting. And even though I'm low level, I still get to get the feel of it, the flow of it. I thought I was casting Smoldering Wrath the whole time. I wonder if it was on cooldown, or I just missed something. I was paying attention, actually. I still want to keep up with the heals a little bit, the ones I do have available in the red line here, but yeah, somehow I missed Smoldering Wrath there. And we have archers. These guys really like sniping all the people and going on the irregular surface of Langruven. Got them down quickly. Actual use for combustion where it will spread right to fire. That's another thing I have missed. I don't know if it was quite worth using in that situation. Smoldering Wrath is so strong that I feel like you'd have to have, one, a lot of enemies, and two, having high tier Rid of Fire would be very helpful for combustion. But that is just the sense I get right now. And Scathing Mockery for once. Get a really nice benefit out of that. So this could potentially be a time for combustion is what I am thinking. Although I think Smoldering Wrath, even in single target situation, increases your damage or something like that. There might have been a trait for that, I actually kind of forget. Okay, I should pay attention to people's health. I think the Beorning is in blue line, it looks like they have their blue line stuff going on. They're pretty survivable tanks. This will be the test. I see there are a lot of enemies here, so this will be a good test if I can actually stay DPS for most of this camp or not. Go ahead and put a heal over time on the Beorning. I think both the Guardian and the Beorning are in tank. I guess the concern would be, like right now, there is a warrior attacking one of our hunters. So one of our more squishy folk, such as myself, if we were to get hit, I think we'd go down a lot faster than the tanks, of course. And that would be the situation where actually being in heal spec, I think, would definitely be a lot better. But still, with this fight, not much issue. And I think I was targeting our Guardian. Should probably heal that hunter. If it requires sneaking, I would not trust my character. But yeah, I think this is working fine so far at DPS spec. Just have to pay attention to the people's health because I can do some healing. Mending Verse isn't all that bad of a heal even in the red line, and Prelude to Hope is quite strong over time. And I even do have Epic for the Ages available. I can switch attunement, do the bubble, all that stuff. Yeah, both Shadowfax and Treebeard, those are launching soon. I was thinking about making a video on my thoughts on that, just comparing the two a little bit. Cordovan in his stream also showed a page where it's a work in progress, so I guess everything there isn't definite, isn't completely set in stone, but it sounds like there might be a Virtue XP buff if you turn the difficulty up with the landscape difficulty feature that's coming with those two servers. So there was an XP buff. It used to be 10% for tier 1, 15% for tier 2, and 20% for tier 3 plus. But it sounds like there's also up to 5% Virtue XP boost. I might actually have to heal here a little bit more. I'll even remove his poison. Are we really saving them then? There we go. Gotta be healed up in the red line. I usually don't watch Cordovan streams, but I feel like lately I'm hearing a lot more news from them. I was just starting to skip around a little bit in the stream at one point and saw those pages and took screenshots of what it was. But anyway, yeah, it's up to, it looks like plus 5% Virtue XP for tier 3 plus. It starts at 1% Virtue XP, and I know that sounds tiny, but my initial reaction was it was actually a good thing. I don't think it's a bad thing that it's a tiny boost. But one, it's an alternative way. I don't know if it's much of an alternative way to get Virtue XP, but it is a way to boost the amount of Virtue XP you get, which I just think is good, especially for a system like that. Did I place that fire runestone? I feel like I had to have. I don't remember pressing the button to do that, but I might have. I probably did, actually. Oh, it looks like we're getting that Cat Master. Oh, but what was it with the Virtue XP? But yeah, it's something that I think increasing the reward is definitely a good thing. I think it's small enough that it isn't quite abusable, or it won't be like I feel like I'm missing out on that for not increasing the difficulty, but it's something that gives me an extra reason at least to turn the difficulty up. Especially when I feel like character XP isn't actually that valuable. I worry, with all my characters, I tend to worry more about things like their legendary item progress, their trait points, and their virtue levels rather than the actual character level a lot of times. So it's something to help with that a little bit. And 5% is quite small, but when there are so many virtue levels in the game, I forget how many virtues there are. There are 21 virtues. So if you leveled every single virtue with that on, you would essentially get one whole virtue, like leveled all the way after leveling 20 others, something about that. Something around there at least. So it's something that does add up over time, I think. There's still ways, I suspect, depending on how it works out, if like every single Virtue XP source is going to be plus 5%. I could see some ways it being sort of, I don't know if exploitable is quite the right word, but being a little bit abused maybe. So things like those Virtue XP items, the ones you get from the Hobbit daily gifts, if it gives plus 5% to something like that, you don't even need the difficulty up. That it's not like it makes it more difficult to click those, but you'd still get the plus 5% just for having the difficulty up from things like that, that it's probably not really intended that you actually get increased Virtue XP. So there still is that factor, but that's why I also think it is good that it is small, so that way it's not really that bad. I don't think it is quite enough for people who just want to go on regular difficulty, that they'll feel the need to turn the difficulty up just to use whatever sort of items or something like that, and then just turn the difficulty back down where they want. I don't think it's quite enough where it is worth spending all that time. A reputation boost as well would be good. That's another thing that I feel like could be good when the difficulty is up. So doing something like, I'm thinking a lot of the early stuff, but any of those repeatable reputation things, even something like Host of the West, that would be helpful, a little bit of a reputation boost for having the difficulty up, doing something exactly like this. And hello, Guerrero ESP73. Right, doing good on everything here, it looks like. Except the horse is going the other way. I am doing quite well today. Did I actually put do not fall on the horse? That was very unintentional. I would have rather put it on somebody useful, but it is on the horse right now. Oh, one thing I can do to help with healing is actually use my crowd control. I have some lightning things, it looks like, on the Rune Keeper. The lightning runestone and the stun from that will, of course, knock out enemies, meaning they can't really do damage, which will help a little bit with the healing. think this horse wants us to kill these guys. Wow. These are... I knew the Fellowship maneuvers got weak, but just looking at that number, it was like 1,500 damage over time, however many ticks there were and how frequently it was, but that is just a really tiny number at this level. Probably would have been worth the time to build up my attunement there. Okay, we got the horses free. So we'll see where we go next. Oh yeah, so I do plan to play on one of those servers. I don't know how much playtime I will devote to one of those servers, but I think it depends mostly where my kin, the people I'm playing with right now, where they go. So there are currently talks of going to Treebeard, I think. That is the one that's more appealing to me personally. Like, if I were to devote more of my time to the server, I would probably go to Treebeard. Although, at the same time, I can see the appeal of Shadowfax for people that want to go through stuff fast, having things release every 2 months. Wow. We all have the same tails here. But anyway, having the content go up every 2 months, I feel like that could be a good pace for people that want to go through it, and then once they get wrapped up with that, they're already ready to move on. I feel like that's a pretty good pace for that. But I don't think I would be quite up for that rapid fire of advancement there. So one thing I will say with Treebeard though, I still feel like it's going fast for a legendary server that's supposed to have its content released slowly. It said every 6 months, 5 to 6 months actually. To me that is a bit fast. And I am pretty much only interested in the legendary servers up till Rohan. I basically don't have interest in them after that, even though I'm playing on like Anor after Rohan. That's just because everybody decided to stick around here. So yeah, those are my tentative plans for the servers. I know they launch, what is it, the 30th? When is that? It is on a Wednesday. That's next Wednesday. I don't know if I'd be able to play that evening. Perhaps for our kin event next week. I'll probably bring this up today actually, but we usually do kin events Wednesday evening. That would be perfect timing because the servers, it looks like they plan to launch June 30th on that Wednesday. It looks like it, the war party. Oops. He looks so friendly though. If I decided to heal, I might have noticed that. I don't know if you've noticed, I've actually been in fire this whole time. Just healing on the side, yeah. Y'all are quite sturdy. Oops, pressing the wrong button. Yeah, I thought I remember on my warden people going down fairly quickly, but y'all are surviving today. Hey Guillaume or Guillaume, you said you're new to the game and you're wondering if you should go to one of these servers, and I'm not sure. If you want to get VIP and have slow progression where there's a lower level cap, there is the appeal of that, or if you want to gain XP more slowly or quickly. there are those options, but I think most people tend to not recommend going to those servers for new players, especially if you don't get VIP. I wonder if people... I mentioned to my kin that getting the Vitality essences when they have the choice are usually the best essences, it seems like. Especially for physical classes, as I've noticed on my warden, because the Vitality essences at this level decided to give them physical mastery, but none of the other masteries. So for physical mastery classes, all the physical classes, you can cap your physical mastery just using Vitality essences, oddly enough. And being capped on all of their offensive stats, and you can, if you really want tactical mitigation, you could get that capped. Looks like they decided to pull some more on accident. And Eric Thompson, I don't think that LOTRO will be getting a classic release with Oceanic servers. Unfortunately. I wish I could say I knew when, but I'm not sure it will even be a thing. Oh. Actually having to heal a little bit more here. Just going to top him off to be safe. Uh-oh. This is the problem, once again, me not being in the heal spec for especially any hunters here, or even myself, how squishy I am right now. Oh, I am the one to die, unfortunately. I might use my free revive, but I don't know that we need it. We have a couple people that can combat res, or I don't think the Beorning... I don't think the Beorning is spec'd into Yellow Line, actually. Oh, so we have two camps. Apparently, I think they did not see that some archers were pulled. I'm going to have to actually do a lot more healing here. Oh, I need to get in combat. Losing attunement, so I can't even cast my heals. Down again. That might be too much. I can use my revive and I will... Do not fall the captain here. Ouch. Unfortunately, they just kill me too quick. I guess that's a problem with not having a healer. Might be a good time to go ahead and switch to heal spec. I'm not sure. Though if we pull one group at once, I still don't think it's too bad, but having the two groups there and being kind of a lot of chaos going on. The Beorning might be able to get it. I'm going to go ahead and actually retreat. That was not a good idea. It's a very far way away though. We'll try to get back. Beornings can survive very well. We'll see if this one can do that. I don't know. There might have been other people left. There are a few people up in the group that might not have died and stayed there. But anyway, now that there is some calmness in the game, I think I caught up mostly with chat there. But I'm thinking about making a video on more of a summary of my thoughts, I guess, They aren't really as scattered as in a stream about Treebeard versus Shadowfax. And perhaps the types of players those servers would be potentially good for. Another appeal of Shadowfax, though, that I kind of forgot about is that in addition to getting plus 50% XP, so leveling faster, you can also get increased Virtue XP. I think it's a server-wide plus 20% Virtue XP, which is really crazy with that. That's like makes the 5% from turning the difficulty up seem very tiny. But that is something, I guess, beneficial with that server. As you progress faster, you also progress your Virtue XP, which, as I repeat many times, that is often what I care about with my characters instead of level, is their progression. Alright, back out here. I have switched to heal spec. To actually set up a little bit. Oh, people have joined me. Okay, once we get through. Uh-oh. Oops, I thought we were making a run for it. Maybe not. I wonder how much I'm into the lightning spec. It looks like on my healing spec, on the blue line, I do have enough points in lightning that I have the runestone that I can throw down there. I still think we have maybe one other person. We have one hunter. Oh, we also have the captain. We're getting a few more people. For a moment, I thought it was just me and the guardian here. We are getting more people. Okay, I'm going to let them be and go check on the warden and hunter and potentially the Beorning that are in the middle. Wow, Andrew, you maxed out the 21 virtues on your main. That is crazy. I don't know. If I focus on one character, I could potentially max out the 21. But one issue I would personally run into is whenever I got Virtue XP on that character from doing deeds, or as you say, missions, I feel bad on not actually getting the Virtue XP and it just being sort of wasted. Of course, with the missions, you can at least send the tokens to your alts, which is quite nice. That's actually the opposite of what I do. Whenever I do missions on my alts, I funnel the Virtue XP to my main. I think my warden on Arkenstone is up to 7 maxed out virtues, so I have a couple defensive options. This guy's not on my group, so he's not getting any heals. He shall get some heals now that I know that. And we'll bubble everybody. Just top everybody off to be safe. If I'm in heal spec, I might as well actually heal. And overheal. Hello Nebbit, you were wondering about starting a warden, but you're wondering if it does good damage, and yes, it does do good damage, but you have to do good with a warden to do good damage. Which is basically true for every class, but especially with the warden knowing which gambits are good and which aren't, because some gambits are like really bad and basically useless as far as damage goes, so if you just use those gambits over and over, it's not good damage. But if you use the actually good gambits, that is good. Okay, we'll see if it's true for a level 101. And I'm not sure. Although, I don't think I was the one that ended up pulling, but that's okay. They can all blame me anyway. I do have some useful things I can do in the heal spec that's not just complete heal. Yes, the Warden does damage over time as their primary damage source. In fact, their upfront damage is very tiny. Actually, I take that back. Their upfront damage is, for the most part, small. But there are some skills that do okayish upfront damage, but then it's still primarily from damage over time. I thought our other Rune Keeper was in the fire in the red line. Looks like that's still the case. I saw something statically charged debuff. I thought that was from Rune Keeper, but thought it was from yellow line. Don't see anybody else here that's out of the kin that could potentially have done that. And now that the questions are fine, especially if you're very new to the game, I am happy to answer those. So if your friend's playing a Rune Keeper and you're playing a Warden, you're wondering if the dots will basically not have any effect if he will kill all the enemies, and that is unlikely, especially on the Warden. There are a few gambits that do good upfront damage and even good upfront damage in AoE. Based on my experience with the Warden and playing the Rune Keeper, the class I'm on right now, even though I'm healing at the current moment, I don't think that would really be the case. You also have the chance to, if you want to, play ranged as your Warden, and the Rune Keeper is also a ranged class, so both of you could be ranged and start attacking things from far away. I actually think the Rune Keeper and Warden is a really good combo of two, especially if y'all want to do maybe some of the tougher stuff on landscape or even duo instances with just you two. They are a good option. Even something like we are doing right now, this is, I think, landscape intended for about 6 people to do. We're plowing through it fairly easily with 8 people. I don't think it's supposed to be like really difficult landscape, but this is the type of thing where I think actually a Warden and Rune Keeper duo could get through it. Just as an example of something we're actually doing where that could be a good combo, if you are interested in doing that type of content. I did not get a Bolt of Rush Cloth. That is something totally different. I might just have to switch again to my Warden and send those over if I actually do this crafting. Okay, so we cannot leave this area for 4 minutes as we defeat the war party. That is this quest. 4 minutes. They do for me. This could be a good time for me to be on fire. Warden and Beorning is also a great combo. I feel like there are so many things you can combo with the Warden. It's hard to make a bad combination with the Warden, I feel like. Beorning, a yellow line ward, or other way around, a yellow line Beorning and a blue line Warden could be a very sturdy group as well. Yellow line Beorning can already sell a lot of content, and same goes with blue line Warden. The blue line Warden will bring damage, and if you don't even need the tanking ability of the blue line Warden, it could go yellow or red line for damage. Also feel like there's not much that's a bad combo for Beorning. Perhaps an odd one is the Hunter. That's just one I think that wouldn't initially appear as a combo that makes sense as Beorning and Hunter. It wouldn't be bad, but I just feel like if I'm thinking about the Beorning, that could be the worst one that I'd want to combo with, even though the Hunter does really good damage and the Beorning can tank and that sort of stuff. If you're looking to do a group content, it's definitely not bad for that. But I guess there are situations on the landscape where Hunter might kill things before the Beorning can even get to it. But then again, the Beorning also does good damage in the red line if they can get into melee. There are all sorts of things you could do there. It's, I guess, very complicated when you think about duo class setups. This is actually something I thought about trying to make a video on this, like good duo combos, because a lot of people seem to want to do that. But there are so many different situations, so many different playstyles. A lot of people sometimes don't recommend doing a melee class with a Hunter because they kill things from far away, and the person that's playing a melee class might not get a chance to do their stuff, like not get a chance to hit anything. But then at the same time, you could just attack different enemies. Like the melee person could go after different enemies than the Hunter is pulling. And in dense camps, the melee could be useful to pull everything, and then the Hunter pick them off. And the melee one would still get to do damage and attack things, of course. It's a little bit easier to talk. It's almost more relaxing healing sometimes. I feel like I can focus on talking rather than burning things a little bit better. Burglar and Lore Master is an odd one. They're the two debuffing support classes, but I could definitely see that being a good combo as well. Basically weaken everything so they can't even do anything is kind of how I would think of that combo. Okay, I think it is time to stop healing. I don't even know if I've needed to heal this whole fight just about. I was going to try to get one epic conclusion, but there is no epic conclusion to that war party. I believe we are getting ported back to the camp.
Will you hear my plight? Be wary, my friends. Evil spoils these grounds.
So, War Leaders, if I remember correctly, this is the last non-repeatable quest we have to do in Langruven before we unlock Tower of Teeth and Squareronk. And then with both of those, Tower of Teeth and Squareronk, there are things outside the actual resource instances that you have to do, and then you can actually go into the resource instances. Oh yeah, LOTRO points are definitely slow to farm. There could be potentially other things that are better to spend LOTRO points on than classes, even though class is very important. If it's something that keeps you playing the game and you really want that class and you have most fun on it, I suppose at that point it could be worth spending your LOTRO points on it. But yeah, both the Warden and Rune Keeper are very fun classes to me. It's just today actually happened to want to play Rune Keeper over the Warden, oddly enough. Looks like we are running that way. And for healing, if you like that, we are getting summons. Okay. Oops, accidentally interrupted that. I thought we were getting summoned, and then people started running. Uh-oh. That's a little slow preparing to travel. We're getting summoned right back to where we were. So Warden damage is, as far as I know, probably higher than Rune Keeper, but Rune Keeper, in particular the breadline, was recently buffed, so I'm actually not 100% sure how the two compare. But Warden used to be higher than the Rune Keeper. The thing with Warden, as we covered, is a lot of their damage is over time. So there are times when the Rune Keeper will do more upfront damage, and when you really compare the damage between the two in longer fights, that's when the Warden actually has a chance for all their stuff to do damage. And it's kind of similar with the Redline Rune Keeper. A lot of their damage, some of their damage is over time. They have a big damage over time burning things theme, but the primary damage in the Redline is actually in basically one skill and mostly in upfront-ish damage. If I actually switch back to the Redline, I can do that temporary. SAF Fire has a little bit of a damage over time effect, which is pretty strong, but the primary skill that does damage is actually Smoldering Wrath and Channeled. There's a lot of high burst damage in that. Hey Zeph Jansen, or Jensen maybe, you said Warden still does more damage than the Rune Keeper, but yeah, Rune Keeper does have more utility. I can go on about that. It's been a while since I've seen you, by the way, Zeph. Good to see you again. With the Rune Keeper, the increased utility they have, one, they, just as a base thing, not something that was recently changed, they have Do Not Fall This Day, which is an in-combat res, which I should be using, but you apply it as a buff. So if they get defeated, if they die, they'll have that buff where they get an in-combat res, which is nice. I don't think I have the legacy to reduce the cooldown, but that is one thing Rune Keepers provide. They also do have the utility, as we saw earlier, in the stream, when we actually started with this stuff, I was in the red line, but they have the utility to heal while the heals aren't all that strong. If you don't need really strong healing, you can be DPS spec and occasionally just top somebody off with heals. So that is a bit of utility. Also in the red line, one more piece of utility here is this Mystifying Flames. This one was recently changed. It used to just give a chance to increase incoming fire damage, I believe was essentially how it worked. And now it is just all damage sources. So you can debuff the enemy and increase the damage they take, which everybody in your group, every DPS in your group can take advantage of the damage. I think we are still waiting on a couple people to get summoned. I do not know what he was doing, if that was some sort of emote or item. Apparently I'm in the wrong chat tab the whole time down here. The one you all can't see, the blurred one, because it's kin chat, but I still don't think where, it's probably an emote here, that's what I'm trying to find. Still do not see. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So it is, oh, due to time zone. Yeah, if it's really late, such as 2:50 a.m., I probably wouldn't personally be tuning into any streams at a time like that, so I can definitely see that. Tomorrow and Sunday I plan to stream earlier, except tomorrow I don't plan to play LOTRO actually, because there's this other game that I started on, what was it, Wednesday? That's quite an exciting game I plan to play. Final Fantasy XIV. I did not know Final Fantasy XIV was such a popular game, by the way. It's something I didn't do research on intentionally just so I could... Usually I like things, including games sometimes, without knowing what's going on at all. Even though there's a lot going on with Final Fantasy, I basically went into it blind. Some people gave me like general recommendations, people I know in real life. But I did not know it was such a popular game, actually. First of all, when I actually got into like the real world, there were so many people there. Do you all want me back in heal line? I realized I switched back to fire to check a couple things. Yeah, I thought we were getting to the point where I remember the bosses being quite busy last time. Just thought I would try to stay fire for a little bit longer, but I would rather heal. Uh-oh. I don't think I bubbled myself. I'll stun who I can stun. I don't know if I can stun everybody or not. Maybe some of them. So that's also something I heard. This is something I didn't really know about, but from what I heard, there were a lot of like people from World of Warcraft, I guess WoW streamers, more famous WoW streamers, that switched from WoW to Final Fantasy, or at least started that. And that was something I did not know, so it sounds like I also started it. I don't really, at least initially, don't plan for it to become like my main game or anything. But just because I had people in real life and a lot of people on YouTube chat and the such in my comments recommend that game over and over and over again, I finally decided to do that. It's been going on for a few months actually that people in chat have been recommending it. But yeah, it seems like a good time. As far as I know, there's a big expansion coming out later this year. I still haven't looked too much into that. I've also realized with LOTRO, as a sort of unrelated thing, this might be completely unrelated, but lately whenever I've wanted to play LOTRO, it's always been group content. I haven't been much in the mood for anything solo, leveling, questing, that type of stuff. It's one reason I've been so slow to get to as Bazaar, and why I haven't done, partially why I haven't done like the Midsummer Festival. So what I have done instead has gone back to working on videos and the such. And I've also just been generally busy, but when I have, I suppose, had the opportunity to maybe sometimes do a questing stream, usually I choose to work on a video lately, which is essentially how I've done so much with the State of LOTRO miniseries, the 3-part videos, which the 3rd part should be out Monday. That is the current plan. I talked earlier about the busy weekend and week I had planned, so tomorrow I plan to stream Final Fantasy XIV. Sunday I plan to stream LOTRO, which might be actually a solo questing thing. I'm not 100% sure I actually will do that with LOTRO, because I also do want to actually do a video on Treebeard versus Shadowfax, the 2 legendary servers, and talk about my plans with them. And then yeah, Wednesday we have the launch of those servers, so I'll probably be doing that in the evening. Hopefully with people actually in this group right now, I can convince them to have that be the kin event on a whole totally different server. I've actually heard the same thing, Nibbit, but I will get on that in a minute. Let's see, I might have completely lost my train of thought actually. I don't know if I was one shot. I had pretty high health though. I was not. I think I just had 3 attacks, roughly 20k. I saw it was around 20k health. Hopefully we get an in-combat res. We did. It will bubble everybody. Probably have some loose archers. Okay, make sure I remove my debuff. Sometimes I have to actually focus on content briefly. Oh yeah, so the other thing is later next week I will also have that interview with LOTRO's producer, which by the way, there was a post on the community tab on my channel talking about that if you're interested in perhaps having one of your questions asked during that interview. But to go, hello Papa Padlock, to go back to Final Fantasy XIV. So Nebbit, you heard the first installment is the boring one, which as far as I know is what is up to level 50, and that's also what I've heard, is it's a little bit slow, and the stuff after that gets really fun is what I have heard from people. I haven't heard all that much. The fortunate thing is people have kept things spoiler free, so again, a lot of just generalities here from people I know in real life and some YouTube comments now and from during the stream. But yeah, there's a lot of exciting stuff to look forward to, I feel like, with that game. And that's the type of thing when I played... Let's see, the MMOs that I have played recently that aren't LOTRO, which isn't much. I'm bad about getting variety. The Rune Keeper DNF'd me. Which is a good thing, do not fall. I think I still have mine on the captain right now. Unfortunately, I am just super squishy. When you only have 25.8k health and even some of the DPS are probably getting 40, 50k, and if they're really geared, 60. I could see 60k. I think if I had my Warden completely geared, I could potentially even be like 70,000 health. Completely geared might be higher than that. Decently geared is probably where I could hit 70k, I think. But anyway, the point is, I go down really quickly on this Rune Keeper, especially compared to other people in the group. So oddly, because I am the healer, when I go down, then I can't heal anybody. Yeah, I don't think for all the stuff that we are running, we still haven't gotten to Throne of the Dreadtear yet, but for everything we have run, I have not really needed the morale. It's just there's no other much useful stat. I don't remember if Throne of the Dreadtear of Tactical Mitigation was all that useful, especially for Tier 1. I kind of doubt my kin will get to Tier 2. We might. But with how late it is and how quickly we're getting Mordor, I'm not really too sure. And Nebbit Warden is not really expected to tank in group situations. I would say there's a small exception for leveling content. If you can actually find a group, an on-level group for leveling content, and you don't have another tanking class, Warden can be a great tank choice. And if you don't have another tanking class, that is when they could be. Okay, so for Throne, it sounds like Tactical Mitigation could be useful. So that's basically where I am at with my Warden, with really not that great gear, a lot of mediocre gear, and just filling things in with essences. I'm capped on physical stats, so I'm just stacking a lot of vitality. And then if I need Tactical Mitigation, I should have a lot of room for that. So you are running with a ton of extra crit. I suppose, so my Warden, I am capped on crit %. But of course you can increase crit magnitude in that type of stuff, so perhaps that is what you're going after. Also devastate chance. But yeah, if you don't need anything else and there's no other useful stat, that is something that can at least boost your damage a little bit. We got some guys on the tower. We got one guy on the tower here. Yeah, the devastate chance does cap at 10%, and then you can, I don't know if there's a cap to the magnitude for each of those. Back in the day, there used to be, I don't think it was quite a bug, but the way there is crit magnitude and devastate magnitude were two different things. So one issue I think some classes would run into is they'd have a lot of things that boost their critical magnitude, so devastates would actually do less damage than crits. So magnitude is capped at 100%. I don't think I've ever gotten to that to actually experience that. But yeah, I feel like we killed so many, it'd be hard to need more. Yeah, do not need any. $112.5 crit rating. This character, of course, at level 101 is far away. I'm still stuck on my level 95 in the such gear. But anyway, with the Warden Nebbit, most of the time they're not expected to tank, especially for endgame content. They're not the best tanks. There are some situations they can tank and actually be a really great tank, but those situations are fairly limited, and it's not like you can go by without another tank. Other tanks are better tanks than Warden. I'll just put it that way. The benefit Wardens have is they can do a lot of damage as a tank. If you don't have another tanking option, they can actually be valuable in the amount of damage they do as a tank. So for a lot of like low level stuff and easy difficulty stuff, Wardens can be good tanks. And that is not to say, if you did want to tank on a Warden, that you couldn't do harder stuff. It's just there are usually better and much easier alternatives to do it on. But if you, don't want to tank, for instances, usually Warden's DPS in summary. If you're looking to DPS on a Warden, they are good at that, and that is what most people use them for nowadays. Wow, 30 gold crit essences to get to the 112.5k. That is a lot. On my Warden, I'm still with sort of janky gear, is how I describe it. And I am still actually needing essences. I haven't been doing my flower dailies, because I really haven't been playing that character. And I don't have enough essences. I have enough essence armor, but I don't have enough essences. Unrelated to that, for the most part, I've actually been thinking about making a video on essences versus armor. But yeah, the armor for essences is easy to get, but the essences not quite as easy, I think, overall. And that's sort of how I feel at high levels as well with the new level 130 content. I feel like essences and armor is the opposite of how it should feel. I feel more excited getting essences than I do armor, but I don't think it should be that way. I feel like it should be more excited to get a new piece of armor rather than get just a plain old tier 8 essence. Tier 8. That is what we are on this server. A teal essence. Think. Wardens, their self-heals used to be stronger. For most of solo content, you do have good self-heals. I will say you might notice they get weaker. If I remember correctly, a lot of people have been saying Mordor and Beyond you get a lot. So you can farm rep items for the old Anorian essences, okay. And you actually do the Osgiliath instances to upgrade them. Oh yeah, you can use Morgul Crest if I remember correctly. It might be wrong on the exact item, but to upgrade the essences, maybe that's what it was? Not entirely sure. And Nebbit is 3:10 a.m. Wow, time has gone fast. Whenever you last said your time, that was like 25 minutes ago, I think, something like that. Anyway, I would definitely agree at that time. I would have to sleep, so thank you for joining the stream, and no problem with the answers. I hope they helped. 2 crests for a purple to teal and 6 crests for teal to gold. That's something I could actually do. I think I have more gold crests on my warden would be the character with them. I don't know if they're account bound. They are account bound, so I actually have 16 of those. Perhaps I could upgrade some of those essences to teal. This is a situation where being in fire would be more useful. It's not like we're having trouble getting through this, of course, but just make things go a little bit faster with killing these guys. I don't know exactly what we're getting, perhaps the tents or the emissaries? Oh, yeah. As soon as I was getting hit like that, I knew I was going down. I don't know why, today feels like Sunday instead of Friday, which it really should not feel like, which is good I suppose. That means tomorrow is not Monday. Back in the day, we used to have kin events on Sunday evenings, you all might remember. Basically for the entirety of our kin, up to a few months ago when our kin leader had a change of schedule where they couldn't do it at that time anymore. So we haven't really had kin events at that time. Perhaps I was having flashbacks to that. That's a lot of cats. Not in a good way. And that's a lot of lag right now. I keep getting Discord notifications and I don't know what from. I don't think that's what's causing the lag. Maybe I'm just laggy right now. For some reason, Battle.net is not even open, but it's eating up all my CPU. Battle.net being the Blizzard launcher. For people that don't know. Blizzard as in like the World of Warcraft and other games that Blizzard makes. But anyway, for some reason, I don't think that was even open, and it was eating up all my CPU. So hopefully that is actually closed now. I already closed it earlier. Perhaps there's something else that keeps opening it. Maybe it was open in the background? Either way, I think I closed everything on the task manager where it's actually closed now and ideally not taking up my CPU anymore. And James Beveridge, I agree that these, what did you say? The camp is great for fellowships, especially when your healer isn't trying to close programs and is actually healing. There's somebody on Discord that usually has really inconsistent volume. Sometimes they are so quiet that I can't hear them, and today they're very loud. Not that they're being very loud, but they're just their volume level's very loud. Sometimes hurts my ears briefly. But yeah, Lingruven's quite fun. It's a little bit more balanced for having legendary items. We're still going through it quite easily, but when my kin was less well geared at the start of the 105 days, it was a little bit more of a challenge. It was fun for that, but now it's still not that bad. Like, especially if you have a character like mine joining the group, who's super squishy and goes down in almost one hit. Fortunately, I was able to survive that time. I honestly thought I would die when I pulled that archer. Looks like they're getting the archer now, though. It could be mic positioning. I don't really even know what type of mic they have. I know right now they said they have a fan blowing right on it, which can also hear whenever they have their push to talk open. And looks like we got a few other things pulled. There's a lot of messy things, though, no. Oh, Hunter went down fast. I went down fast. That was actually essentially a one-shot. Oh, and the Rune Keeper is doing pretty good at keeping the do not fall up. I took 20,000-ish damage, I think, on my hit. So not quite a complete one-shot, but if I was getting hit by anything else at the same time, that is how I died. And that's why this character is super squishy. It's level 101, first of all, so don't have any of the 105 gear. His imbued ally would not help with his survivability, but it's still not as well built as my Warden. But still, I wanted to play the Rune Keeper today. So that is what I'm doing. They deal so much damage because alright, I was trying to think of something creative, but they've just done a lot of training. My mind totally blanked, unfortunately, right there. Whatever is on the east side of Langreuven, to the east of Langreuven and Rune, whatever sort of training they did there, that is why they deal so much damage. Uh-oh. I did not see I was being hit. I decided to stop paying attention for a second. Wow. Even if I reacted to that hit. Yeah, someone does need more health. What were we looking for? Emissaries? Yep. Okay, so we aren't wandering around completely aimlessly, and hello, Nightbling. Yeah, it's more so that I need more health, but I don't think the archers necessarily need a nerf. And it was 20k on a Devastate. I don't feel like that's too strong, especially for something like this, but it just means I have to pay attention on healing for when I don't get one shot, that I actually heal myself up. Of course, getting hit by 20k twice in a row, or from multiple mobs at once, wouldn't be all that great. Okay, so yes, the new legendary servers with the levels of difficulty from hard through deadly +6, those sound fun, especially in a place like this. Honestly, the place I'm most excited for the landscape difficulty feature is Limelight Gorge, and I don't know why. I guess because I logged in my Guardian, finished Limelight Gorge, and I had a lot of fun on that, but then my Guardian was there at one point. So now I just want to go back and do it, and I think that could be a really fun place with the difficulty all the way up, fighting like Nemesis on tier 9, deadly +6. Sounds quite fun to me. But yeah, I think my goal on the legendary servers with the landscape difficulty slider is to just do landscape content and not really instance group content. Things like Nan Wathrin, an actual group area, could be quite fun with that, I think. And yeah, I guess the motivation to go past the 3rd difficulty level is basically if you just want it, or if you think it's fun and you want to do it for fun. Okay, this time I actually saw those guys get pulled. See, Nan Wathrin is the first place that came to mind that is actually grouped. There used to be the stuff in Southern Lowlands, which is essentially the same level, but I thought most of that was nerfed in terms of difficulty. But maybe there still are a bunch of elites. But Nan Wathrin as like a proper group area, if I remember correctly, that's the first one. Then what other areas? Oh, Dolden Inn. That's also in North Downs. There's a lot of stuff in North Downs. East Agamar. Oh yeah, there's also, yeah, that Gartha Garwin area. That's where that is, right? I better actually follow the group a little bit. Nandaloo. Don't remember that one. Yeah, Agamar with Gartha Garwin. There is that. Nandaloo. Don't think that's Evendom. Potentially some stuff outside Fornos, but I don't really remember. If it's not showing on the map, if it is a thing, I should pay attention to what's going on, which nothing is going on, so that's actually good news for me. I can look at the map safely. Okay, let me go back to points of interest. Oh, that is showing. Okay, never mind. And I got killed. That is unfortunate. I don't know what killed me. I saw an 11,000 damage when I was dead, so maybe there was something I could have done about it, but maybe not. Okay, so there is the area in Lowlands with all the goblins. Are they still elites? Get some heals. Some debuffs. Yeah, respawns. For you non-squishy folk, maybe they're okay. I am actually surprised I did not die there from that cat. Okay, somebody got aggro from the tower guard there. Trolls of Harlog. Where is Harlog again? I just want to look at the map. So if I remember Harlog... No, that is not Harlog. That would be Lowlands, yeah. Down there. So they are signatures in that one place in Lowlands. So they actually did Nibling. Well, they didn't officially announce the speed. That information's coming out June 30th, but what Cordovan did on a stream is shared like a work in progress for what that could be, and they said 5 to 6 months on Treebeard. Shadowfax is every 2 months, it sounds like. I think that's a little too fast for Treebeard, to me, to be honest. That's almost what we had on Anor, which I already thought was a little bit fast. And for a server that's intentionally supposed to be slower, I think that is a little bit too slow to me. Or not too slow, the other way around. Not slow enough, too fast. Wow, that was some good sneaking that this character at level 101 could not do. All this reputation, I honestly feel like, even though it's like I wanted to play my Rune Keeper, a problem I'm running into right now is that now I'm wishing I'd get all this progress on my Warden. if this character was actually somebody I cared about, which I hate to say I don't, but it is just the reality of my medium to high level characters in LOTRO. The first thing I thought of when it said Dragok was Dragok. I don't remember where Dragok is, if that's even a different thing. If it is Dragok, the difficulty does not come into play in instances or anything that is above duo size, I believe. Okay, so that is true. There are some areas where I think 5 to 6 months could be too long, especially things like Rohan. East Rohan, West Rohan. Oops, I am not healing the tank. That was entirely my fault. I was not healing the tank, I don't think. Maybe, I don't think I was. I wasn't even paying enough attention to know if I for sure was or wasn't now. So we have 40 seconds for the captain in combat res. I have do not follow up on the captain, not the guardian, which I probably should have it on the guardian. I think he's the one that's most frequently gone down. Also with Enedwaith, with the landscape difficulty being up, which who knows, by the time the legendary servers get to Enedwaith, maybe that feature will be out on all the regular servers anyway, but isn't there a group-ish area in the southeastern part of Enedwaith? Hello, Dan's Adventures. Wonder how many people are talking about Treebeard right here. How many people are on the server? 114, which honestly is not that bad. Although for a peak time on Friday evening, that is small, but I don't consider it too bad for this server, actually. Speaking of Do Not Fall, it is off cooldown. On this character, I no longer have a legendary item with the legacy to do 2 of those, but... Oh, so there are some signature enemies that guard the Ostdunhop. I thought there was an area I can go to it on the map, hopefully, quickly. Thor's Coombe, I thought there was some group stuff there, maybe small fellowship or fellowship, like elite master drakes, maybe that type of stuff, maybe. It's been so long since I've actually done that and seen that though. I could just be imagining it. That is a definite possibility. I don't remember the questing there though. I don't even know if I've done that group quest, those quests there, and what the whole reward system was. Because I remember Limelight Gorge, having a lot of fun with that, which would have been a couple updates after. Oh. I am taking damage from something. Probably getting aggro from all the healing I'm doing. Either that or there's an archer in a tower. It does not appear to be the case. He's just under the tent hitting me. Let's see, other group areas. I don't think Evandem had any. A Numenos, that could be a fun place. There's some elite masters there and interesting stuff. That is actually surprising, Nibling, that people aren't recruiting for the new servers. And yeah, I feel like with the 2 new legendary servers is there isn't much. I don't feel like there's much community excitement building up. I remember I made a lot more videos when Honor would launch with his. As far as my channel taking off, I know my channel is still very tiny, but it's also huge compared to what it used to be. But when I started making content around the waste, actually, that's why this zone is a little bit special to me, because that's when I really started doing live streams for the first time and that type of stuff. very scary times back then. Not as scary now, fortunately, but anyway, there was that, and then there was the Legendary servers launch. But now we have 2 new Legendary servers launching, and I haven't really made videos discussing specifically. Like, I feel like I made so many videos talking about Anor and all the excitement with that, which I was really excited and had a lot of fun on Anor initially. I still have fun here, but the early content excitement is like completely done with the server to me. Like, as far as I'm concerned, I would actually be happy if they just randomly tomorrow decided to move these servers up to 130. But I know a lot of people probably wouldn't like that still play on Anor. But the excitement for me with Anor was mainly up to Rise of Isengard content. And then, yeah, pretty much Rohan's after that, not as exciting to me. But I guess one issue is that everybody in my kin stuck around here, and I just like keep playing with them and like to play with them. And no, I do not plan to roll a Warden. The 2 classes that I haven't played all that much, because my 2 main characters that I play of them are in the abandoned stage, is the one I'm actually playing right now. This is an abandoned character, actually. I'm just playing him for some fun variety while I can. And then, yeah, so Rune Keeper would be one, and then Guardian would be the other. Yeah, Warden would be a great class, though, for the landscape difficulty feature, I feel like, but it is not one that I intend to do it on. And leaning towards Treebeard or Shadowfax, I am personally leaning towards Treebeard. I can see the appeal of Shadowfax, but the problem is I am more interested, I guess, in going a lot slower pace and doing things sort of infrequently just on the side on that server, and still have my main server. Basically, my server priority would become Anor, Arkenstone, then Treebeard. And I think doing Anor, Arkenstone, and then Shadowfax would be a little bit too much. Yeah, Warden, Guardian, and Captain are good. Also, Hunter, potentially. There's some interesting... might have pulled something, actually. I'm in combat, at least. Tower. He held aggro pretty well for just standing there. But yeah, as I discovered on my leveling Hunter, when I went through Trollshaws and Wildwood, they can do some interesting things with self-heals and a lot of kiting options. That's why it's kind of similar with the Warden. Sometimes going on the yellow line is easier to solo than the sturdy tanking blue line with the kiting and some of the self-heals even in the yellow line that you can do ranged and the such. Somebody was talking about, the Cordovan live stream today was surprisingly informative. I didn't even watch it, I've just heard so much information from it. And since I heard people talking about the Shadowfax and Treebeard being discussed in it, I clicked the stream and saw he had like a page up of their work in progress for whatever article they published for, or the updated Legendary Servers page, whatever page they have up on the LOTRO website, a work in progress for that for the 2 new servers. And then I think even some patch information for next week, shared basically the patch notes. Yes, there is actually greater Virtue XP on Shadowfax. That is a huge appeal of that server. That alone is almost enough to actually make me want to go to Shadowfax, to be honest. Because otherwise, getting plus 20% Virtue XP is just such a huge boost. If they really want to gain appeal on both the Legendary servers, I feel like they could do plus 20% on both of them. Not just so I can go plus 20% Virtue XP on Treebeard, but I don't even know what I ready checked for, but I think I did it for the right thing, which is time to move on. That's a pretty impressive earring. I know the level 105 stuff goes way up in stats compared to 100. But yeah, for a character like this, it's a pretty impressive earring. I wonder if somebody who plays at 105 regularly would want this, and I'm guessing the two they have are sort of in between. I don't know, it depends if they need mastery or not, I suppose. I doubt the Beorning really wants those. Anyway, I should have a lot of turn-ins. I don't know if we are running anything else. It could be about time to wrap up. Is this just for... was this just for unlocking the Tower of Teeth and Squirrel? Okay. So, I suppose I'll stick to my Rune Keeper, but I think we are continuing with this. Maybe not actually running the resource instances, just a bunch of unlocks today, it sounds like. Ideally, in the future, we won't need to do unlocks. I only went on my Rune Keeper because I figured go ahead and unlock the stuff because I've been more in the mood to play Rune Keeper lately. I might actually, we'll probably take as a group a little break here. I might actually have to use the restroom when we do that. See, what I can do while waiting is maybe reforge my LIs. Reforge. I went to do something. Oh, I identified instead of reforge. That's what I did. I think so. So yeah, with those two servers, I was trying to think if I summarized all my thoughts on that, but even with the Virtue XP leaning towards Treebeard, and I would personally probably try Deadly +3 on the landscape. I did tier 7, whatever that is. I don't remember, that would be I guess Deadly +4, something like that. So I did tier 7 on the beta, and that's all I had the opportunity to actually play. I didn't get much else tested, and that was tough. Killing regular mobs was quite tough. As a group though, I think I would go all the way tier 9. So with the Cordovan streams, usually it's just something I think you have to watch. I don't think there's a place that people summarize. There is actually one French forum that sometimes does that. I don't remember if I follow them on Twitter. I see them usually posted on Twitter. I don't remember the name. But yeah, there's some French forum that is, I don't think, a part of the official LOTRO forum. Sometimes they will do a summary of the Cordovan streams, I think. There used to be some people on, if I remember correctly, the official forums and maybe Reddit that would do summaries on that, but it's not something that is all that frequently done. I usually actually don't watch the Cordovan streams. I thought it started with a J. That is about all I can potentially tell is a J for the start of that name. Wonder. I'm actually curious, so I am going to see if I can find what this would be. Okay, looks like we are doing a 5-minute break. But yes, I cannot find that page right now. But when it thinks randomly reading world chat. Sometimes I'll catch random messages, and this one, if y'all can see it, I know the text is probably tiny, especially if you're not on like a normal size screen, like if you're on a phone screen or something, but somebody said advertising this game is not Standing Stone Game's strong suit, and sometimes I feel like I agree with that. When did you say 5-minute break? Okay, I kind of missed that, and I'll be back in like 1 minute. I'll put it on follow just in case somebody travels somewhere. Okay, so I will be right back. I have to use the restroom real quick, and then we will go on with more group content. I think I have an AFK message. It's been so long since I've used that. I don't think this is it. That is not it. That is the Swimming Dead. This one? Oh, I actually found it. Okay, be right back. I am back, and as fun as it is to watch the rain outside, which I think is mostly stopped, I think it is also about time to close my curtains and turn my lights on. So I'll be back 1 more minute. And now I'm back for real. So James, you actually tried to bring up advertising on Cord Stream. I'm curious if you got anywhere on that. I don't know if everybody is here, even though the AFK break was apparently supposed to end like 3 minutes ago when I first went AFK, or 2 minutes ago. Okay, so he didn't really, and you're going to keep trying. I would say that is a good thing. Keep going at it, and maybe we'll reach somewhere, get LOTRO a little bit better advertised. Okay, so I think, yeah, it sounds like today was quite busy. I could see next week being busy as well with all the stuff going on. I might have an interesting video coming out Friday. Ideally, it would actually be at the exact same time as Cordovan streams, but I feel like uploading videos at, I usually try to upload my videos at 12 p.m. Eastern, which is 11 a.m. my time. But on Fridays, I sometimes try to avoid that because I know Cordovan does his streams then, so not to have it go at the same time, but that would be ideal potentially for an exciting video that would hopefully be ready by next Friday. Yeah, you do get bonus XP and Virtue XP for being on higher level difficulty, but I thought also just for being on the server, on the Shadowfax server that is, you get plus XP. So that was there was a screenshot of that near the beginning of the stream. On the Shadowfax server you get plus 50% XP, Legendary Item XP, Mount XP, and plus 20% Virtue XP. Okay, so we're going to the Squaronk side, which I have no idea which that is, if that's in the east or west, but that is where we're going. If y'all are wondering why I'm spinning, I'm on follow for somebody, so I can be lazy. But yeah, for Treebeard to get the bonus, the plus 5% Virtue XP, I think you'd have to go on tier 3 difficulty. I did not actually watch the stream, if that was explained in commentary that it could be different. That was just based on my suspicions. This slash follow thing is really nice. I'm not having to do this turning around. If you want to take all the time just to get there, sure. Yeah, that's one thing with Shadowfax. I really wonder how that will play out. That's actually a server, the appeal of Shadowfax to me is before trait points become annoying, which starts mainly in West Rohan. There's a little bit of annoyingness there in Moria, but yeah, that server I think actually does have quite a bit of appeal for something like Ingmar, because you can get to level 50 and get to doing whatever sort of group content you want to do really quick, and you might be able to level just doing landscape group content on high difficulty. My horse got confused. It was about to run me through all the orcs. I really do think it was about to run me through all the orcs. Realized I was sitting far away. My chair is starting to get squeaky. I've only had it for about 10 months maybe, but it's been getting squeaky lately, especially the past couple months it seems like. Could have been squeaky the whole time, I just don't really remember it. Alright. I am in fire until we need heals, which if we need heals right now, that is okay. I hope we don't need heals, but thought I would offer just in case we actually do run into issues that I am fine switching back to healing. That was a longer fight than I expected. If I actually planned for a longer fight, that could have been a lot quicker fight, oddly enough, but I guess I don't need to pull everything. I didn't realize people were getting a move on. But it could have been a lot quicker fight if I actually built all my attunement and used Smoldering Wrath just like I just did. Especially thinking with... I'm gonna move on with the content here. Let's see, what was I about to say? Yeah, so going on your point, Nibling, of doing like 5 quests in each zone will get you level 50. Especially if you have all the XP boosts and you get like any sort of XP boosting item. I feel like you could get to level 50 in almost an instant. Because the way XP works in LOTRO is multiplicative. So if you double your... Let's see. Let me rephrase that so it maybe makes a little bit more sense what I am trying to say. Is if you get plus 50% XP and plus 100% XP, it won't be plus 150. It will be plus 200 because you'll be at 150% XP, and that gets doubled. Thanks. Doubled to 300% XP, which is 200% more than normal. But then there are a bunch of other XP boosts that you could get on top of that, which is like any items. I actually have one on this character. It's not giving me bonus XP, but something like Shield, a Hammer Hand, the whatever pocket item. I was going to try to get one cast, but we're actually doing the fun strategy. Can't really hit much on the run. I can use my little lightning spells, but they're not doing much damage right now. I might be pulling too much aggro doing that. I'm too used to trying to hit things while running, but sometimes it just is not safe. I think that's one problem with the Nor people actually ran into. With even how long it took to do some updates with the Nor, people felt like they would fall behind sometimes. I think that's one of the points with the landscape difficulty. One of the reasons they're actually giving bonus XP is because it will take longer to go through the content. So to make up for that time, you get more XP. Here, I hit things too early again. And with a server like Treebeard, it's going to be weird on 40% XP. I feel like that's enough that you could almost comfortably run through maybe every zone if you don't use any XP boost or anything like that. Could be very slow leveling. Because we already on Anor have minus 40%. And even without XP boosts, sometimes I can still outlevel zones sometimes if I do all the deeds and the such, I've noticed. But also, the other way applies. Sometimes I'll be underleveled. I might still be a bit squishy for these trolls. The level up didn't help as much as I was hoping. Nope. Hey Smasher Smash, he said you're very new to the game and you've been playing a Lore Master, and you were wondering what the best server is to play on as Australian. So unfortunately all these servers are in Boston area in the US, so there isn't really a good server that will help with lag. All of them will have basically the same lag, unfortunately. I wish I had a better answer for you, but that's just the reality. All of them are in the US, East Coast US, which is quite far away from Australia. Yeah, a Nor, perhaps some of the confusion there could have been it's minus 40% XP, so you get 60% of normal, and the Treebeard's the kind of flip of that. It's minus 60%, so you get 40% of normal XP. Yeah, sometimes there are some periods I've noticed where the LOTRO servers are extra laggy. That has seemed to have been the case on Arkenstone when I played there last. It was just a lot laggier than I'm used to on a Nor, and it could be some of the more populated servers might just have some lag. I know there used to be a lot of issues on Evernight, but they were doing some things to try to fix that. I don't know if that ever actually got fixed. I'm glad you're really enjoying LOTRO so far. As I've mentioned, I haven't been too much in the mood for doing like solo type stuff in LOTRO, but the times I have played group content the past few times, it's been quite fun. Such as what I am doing right now. Okay, let me actually heal. I was going to try to switch to heal to actually heal him, but I'm being a little bit slow right now. I can put it on him. I could also switch back to heal for this part. I think I found the problem. Jimmy is AFK still, it looks like. Oh yeah, fellowship maneuvers at this point they are very, very weak. The main use of them, I guess, is for specific mechanics, but setting that aside, the actual fellowship maneuvers themselves, I believe restoring power is the one that could potentially have some potential use. Okay, we'll put Do Not Fall on the Guardian now. The Bear Warning is playing blue line as well, so they don't think they need Do Not Fall. Yeah, the amount of damage these do is so tiny, even if you combo them and get all that good stuff. The healing one, actually for me, for my character, the healing is not that bad. For other people in this fellowship, it's too small to be all that useful. That is what I need to do. So Smash or Smash, you said you have actually done more with me with the reading. I haven't read any Lord of the Rings material. Most of my Lord of the Rings stuff is from the game, some minor things elsewhere, but yeah, mostly from LOTRO game. And I did watch the movies way back when. I've also watched, I think, the Hobbit movies, but that is something I have been meaning to do for a few months now, is actually watch the movies. And yes, the Brawler is a confirmed class. Now, if that is what you mean, if you mean the abilities, we don't really have much updates on the abilities, how they look now, and how they have changed. I think there were some minor changes compared to what I showed. But the point of that video with the abilities, if that's what you're talking about, is just to show a little bit what the class could look like. Glad there's somebody that can't wait to play. The Brawler. We keep pulling more stuff. I was actually going to switch to the healing spec, but that is not in the works for today right now. Yeah, that is one thing with the 2 servers, I was kind of hoping that actually the Brawler would be ready for when the 2 servers launched. I feel like that would have been a perfect time to have a bunch of Brawlers get to like a level 50 cap and, I don't know, punch that one Balrog in the Rift. I think some people aren't too big on the lore aspect of the Brawler, and just having another melee class, another tank. Oh, I guess I could work to res. Other people are working to res. So I think there is a little bit of both of those. I am personally one that is not super excited for the playstyle of the class, what I expect the playstyle of the class to be, based on like the fantasy of being a Brawler that just goes around punching people and hello, play gaming. But still, it is something I will play, and could be fun gameplay mechanic-wise. Okay, I was going to try to interrupt that guy, but that's too many. That was too long on those deductions and retrying them. Oh, I meant to switch to heal spec. I kept... This time, I kept trying to, but then I was in combat. Then we got out of combat and I forgot. But yeah, with the Brawler, it sounds kind of weird. Severlin, the executive producer, I think, kept talking about hoping to have it ready for, like, a pre-order for Gundabad. And they were also talking about these new legendary servers, so I was expecting maybe they would try to launch the new legendary servers and all this new stuff, or when they have a new class that could take advantage of everybody being on the same playing field and all that. Fresh start. But it does not seem to have lined up all that well. I'm hoping with the interview next week to have some information on that. Hopefully I can actually get some exciting news out of them. Wow, he got up to 100,000 health. That is without a captain in the group, I think. Yep. I think we're supposed to be targeting the sorcerer. I don't even have enough power to use that anyway. Yeah, the fighter type character, that is an archetype that we don't really have at LOTRO. So it's something that will fit that for players that like that. Not enough power again. I'm not used to running out of power on this character, to be honest. I have tons of power potions, I think. Most of the map is canon to the Lord of the Rings story. It's more true to the books rather than the movies. I don't know much of the technical differences there, but it is... Or you mean the map specifically, not the content? Maybe that's what you mean. But yes, LOTRO is a very huge game. I don't know if it's exactly a one-to-one scale from, like, being very realistic, because you can travel fast in the game. I don't think it's quite that much, where it actually takes days of playtime to travel between places. It's not quite like that. It's a more cohesive experience in the game, but yes, there are a lot of areas. There's all these zones in Eriador, there's all this stuff in Rohan, Gondor. LOTRO is a huge game. As far as I know, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, MMO. As far as like total landscape size, I suppose, open world size. So Joy, You're happy it's the weekend, which I am happy it's too, even though it feels like Sunday, or felt like Sunday earlier. It still kind of feels like Sunday, and I don't know why. It's kind of bothering me now. But the good news is it's Friday, which means tomorrow is Saturday, not Monday. I think we're reporting back to the camp. But yeah, I kind of agree with the old parchment map styles. I think somebody put that in one of the questions I have to potentially be on the list of questions I have for the interview next week. But about new servers, they talked about upgrading their hardware and stuff like that with servers. Or I guess a few of us did not catch the hunter reports. But yeah, if they get new servers, that of course would be nice. There's been a lot of people talking about they want servers back, at least in the EU. Somebody mentioned they were from Australia, and I honestly forgot who that was at this point. I was thinking that was Smasher Smash, the one asking about from Australia. But anyway, I don't know on that. I don't think they mentioned... Oh. Uh-oh. I have a troll got mad at me. Are we going to Norcost? Okay. I don't need to do the turn-ins, do I? Okay, then I can just meet you there. So yes, I am going to be interviewing LOTRO's producer at some point next week, and I made a post on the community tab on my channel about that for more information for anybody curious, and for you to submit potential questions to be asked. Again, the most frequently, basically most popular questions, most upvoted with a little thumbs up on YouTube, and the most frequent ones that come up I will add to the top of the list. It really depends on how much time there is in the interview, how many of those type of questions I can get through, but that is the plan with that. I think I have it linked in the description for this stream since I knew it would be coming up. Looks like I made it just in time and caught up with everybody. That actually happens sometimes to even me, being in the US, and yeah, sometimes they're just server-wide. I don't know if it's all that frequently. You can probably definitely have some issues from being that far away, or even with your own Wi-Fi, your own internet, but sometimes that is a thing in LOTRO, that it is just random server lags like that, where it can be rubber banding and like freeze, not being able to do anything for 10 seconds. Apparently we went the wrong way. I've been through this stuff once recently, might have gone through it once way in the past, or I guess I would have had to run the resource instances. Don't y'all love fighting gates? This is a true test of how the gameplay flow is on the Fire Rune Keeper, though. See if I can actually work in Combustion comfortably. I don't know what Fire Rune Keepers are doing, if Combustion would actually be worth using, or going with Epic Conclusion in the yellow line, though. Or even nothing, just staying at high attunement. I don't remember if there are many benefits, though, with the Red Light Rune Keeper to being at high attunement. But with that slightly longer fight, I actually did like the flow of that. Okay, I need to heal at least myself, hopefully. I was going to try to do mini-verse. I could have maybe done some stuff to survive, but did not work. I'm wondering if I should switch to healing or not. Okay. Uh-oh. I was getting ready. I'm like, okay, I'm about to get res, going to ask him if I want to switch to healer. And then I just see a bunch of arrows flying like that. The retreat, that would take me back to the res circle. So that would take me far away. I don't think that's a VIP thing for retreat. You get one free revive, where it says revive for 15 mithril coins. You get one free revive, I think, like every 2 hours on the landscape. Otherwise, you have to spend the mithril coins. Joy, you say get good, but that would be hypocritical. Yeah, I could have done stuff, definitely, to avoid that, but... sometimes I just don't really care to do all that much. I was going to try to get mini-verse, so the thing I was doing... I guess one issue, so I'll go on about the red line Rune Keeper in a moment, but I was hoping to get mini verse off, then I could have done steady hands and moved around to use Word of Exaltation, but with the Rune Keeper red line, it's all about standing still, so I'm often not ready to actually move. Mithril coins, yeah, they're very easy to spend. There are a few things I think they're good for, and a few things I don't think they're good for. Traveling to quests, I think, is one good thing to spend mithril coins on. So, that one. Doing the free revive I don't think is worth 15 mithril coins. I feel like that's one of the bigger scams in the game as far as mithril coins goes. And then there is... this one is kind of tough, but getting the third trait slot I feel like is useful for basically every class because you have 3 trait lines, so you could have 1 spec of each trait line. But I honestly feel like that should be a VIP feature or something. I could see for free-to-play being limited to even 1 spec, and then maybe premium they could do 2, and VIP they could do 3, but I find that to be a good use of mithril coins. What's the other thing? You can get a return to breeze skill, I think, for mithril coins. I did not get the lifetime VIP. I agree that would be so good to have, but I unfortunately did not get that. That is, as far as I know, perhaps the best deal that I've ever seen as far as MMOs go. And unfortunately, I was playing a little bit too much World of Warcraft back then, when that was a potential thing. Yeah, we got one, just need one more overseer. Uh-oh, I'm about to die again. Don't want to pull those 2 things. As far as I know, they're elite masters. Yeah, they actually were elite masters. But I also want to get away from the things that were killing me. Okay, let's turn on the door. That thing's got the most health. A lifetime account, some people do try to sell those. Occasionally I'll see it like pop up about people selling them. I don't remember seeing an actual price though, and there's always the concern that you would get scammed from something like that, of course. But probably a lot. If I had a lifetime VIP, how much, I should rephrase this, how much I would be willing to spend for a lifetime VIP at this point. And let's see, if I spend about $120 a year on LOTRO VIP, maybe I don't know, like $500 to $600. Yeah, if it was like a stolen lifetime account, there would be so many concerns if you came across somebody trying to sell a lifetime VIP, but... Oh, I accidentally canceled my strongest skill because I wanted to move in closer to make sure I could see everything get burnt. Very sad. I think that guy's aggroed in the back. I can burn him. No, I don't have enough room to do that. So it skips over my skill. I don't know if that error actually caused that. There's some really weird errors in LOTRO where it will make you skip over a skill randomly. Something like if I'm playing a Rune Keeper and it wants me to auto tag, it'll say you're too far away from that, and then it just won't go over my skill. And sometimes you can click a skill and it'll do like the Q thing, but it won't actually be queued. You sometimes have to hit it again. That happens sometimes on the Warden where I'll skip over gambits, or I'm like waiting forever for a gambit builder to actually trigger even though it's ready to trigger. One thing also with Lifetime VIP is not enough. I actually have power potions, so I can do stuff to fix this. I just don't have them on my skill bar for some reason. There we go. But with Lifetime VIP, over all these years since they went free to play, like a regular VIP, you get 500 LOTRO points a month. So there are some people who haven't played for a long time, have Lifetime VIP, and have accumulated what is 6,000 LOTRO points a year over like, sometimes even, I don't know, 10 years might be a little bit long. But even like 5 years, that seems like too much. Hold up, let me think about this. Yeah, 5 years, you could get 30,000 LOTRO points, which is enough to buy like all the expansions, tons of quality of life stuff where you wouldn't even need to get that. I think that's almost one reason that you actually need to, I think we just need to return. We don't need to destroy this gate. But I think that is kind of one reason that they have expansions not be on sale at the LOTRO store. People get LOTRO points doing in-game activities. They want people to spend real money. Were we going to port out, or did we miss something? Were we gonna port out? Okay. Alright, I can stay for that. There are a couple of things with LOTRO. That's unfortunately very complicated. That is something I hope I can actually ask in the interview, is perhaps simplifying that experience. But with LOTRO, there are quest packs and expansion packs. There are two different things. And with a subscription, you get all the quest packs included with the subscription. But you don't get the expansion packs, and there are quite a few expansion packs with LOTRO as it's an old game, and all the expansion packs have essentially stayed the same throughout the years. So as a player wanting to buy stuff, you'll need both the quest packs and expansion packs, but there are some alternatives you can get. You can get expansion quests, which are expansion quest packs, which gets you most of the expansion content, but not all of it. And yeah, there's just a lot of messy stuff with that. I feel like I'm explaining it poorly, but yeah. At its simplest, I guess there are areas locked in. It'll be quest packs and expansion packs. Oh, he is right here. So we just need to run through these two camps, and it's totally fine with me. But After Lonelands, you have up to level 30 content essentially for free, which goes through Lonelands, and then all the other zones you will need either a quest pack or expansion pack. It might give you a prompt in the game. It might actually tell you. And yeah, it's only quest packs up until Moria, so all the Eriador stuff is quest packs, and then there are some scattered areas that are quest packs that aren't included, I don't think, anymore in the expansions. And then there are a bunch of expansions up until level 95. So essentially 50 to 95 is expansions, 95 to 105 is quest packs, 105 to 150 is expansion, 115 to 120 is a quest pack again, then 120 to 130 is expansion, and there are also a bunch of quest packs at level 130, but then it'll be 130 plus that is going to be an expansion again with Gundabad. There's also the mini expansion War of Three Peaks, which is at 130, which I don't think counts at all as a regular quest pack, so even after all this time. Oops, I don't think I kept Do Not Fall Up. Those were some bad moves by me. I don't think they were stunnable at that moment and just didn't do much damage with that. And yes, it's a lot of money to spend. I think, yeah, that's one strategy some people do, is they buy as they get to it, or they wait for sales, or do both of those. There are sometimes sales on the expansion packs and the quest packs and the such, where you can get some decent deals, or you can get subscriber if you do want to subscribe to the game and get the expansion packs. But yeah, there's also the multi expansion pack, whatever it's called, I forget the exact name of it right now. Yeah, the expansion trove, that would be a good start, but it still wouldn't include the quest packs. Another consideration and complexity to all of this is you can get LOTRO points to buy quest packs and even expansion packs in game. So there is that opportunity, I guess, to get this stuff in the game that I think is sometimes underrated. There are other things you can spend your LOTRO points on, other quality of life type things, but you can also just buy the content with that. And yes, your subscription and points carry across characters. That is all completely account-wide, at least. So if you unlock, for example, the, say, Evandem zone, which is one a lot of people, I think, recommend because it's a really good zone for level 30 to 40. If you unlock that zone, it will be unlocked for all your characters on your account, even all the servers. And also with VIP, a strategy I and other people recommend is I lost my train of thought due to the content. I thought I was talking about something, but I don't even remember. Maybe we wrapped it all up. Oh yeah, so a strategy. That's what it was, getting VIP. So that I and other people recommend is getting your subscription maybe for 1 or 3 months. Getting 3 months for $30 just seems a lot better than 1 month for $15 to me. But during that time, you'll have a lot of content unlocked. You can do deeds, get LOTRO points, and to get some more permanent stuff for your account. But also, any character you log into while you have VIP, you get a lot of permanent benefits. I don't think I have a video on that, but there might be some threads on like the LOTRO forums and the such. This is not going that well. Maybe. You have Do Not Fall Up, I think, right? Well, I'm running away. Unfortunately, I cannot do much as a Fire Rune Keeper compared to Lightning. Oh. I did not realize the Overseer was a nemesis. That's interesting. Alright, I will run back. Also, let me switch to the blue line real quick. It can be buggy switching specs on the worst deed. Sometimes it'll remove your last row of traits. And sometimes it'll remove all your traits, actually. So I try to avoid respecking on the worst deed. Yeah, they make it really confusing with unlocking expansions, quest packs, races, classes, even the expansion trove. Like, I feel like that's a great bundle, but it does not explain what it even gives. As far as I know, it doesn't give the classes, for example, or the races that came with-ish, the expansions is what I should say. Because the High Elf technically did not come with Mordor, even though it came with Mordor, as much sense as that makes. Okay, I am just running through all this. I'm in the heal spec, so I should be able to out-heal the damage I'm going to take. Ran past somebody. I don't know where the Guardian is. I feel like they're up here. Unfortunately, I couldn't res the Hunter with all these orcs chasing me. Bringing friends. This is so crazy. They're talking, so the people that are dead and not doing anything, we're talking about something totally unrelated with missions and explaining some of the missions rewards. Meanwhile, I'm trying to heal and keep us from dying. Oh. Okay, now we have one orc. I feel comfortable to use some of my damaging abilities that I have. That would be fun though. Oh, apparently the burglar is alive on the other side, attacking the door. I don't know if that was going on this whole time, but I just realized that after all this time. Okay, I'm going to get my healing stuff ready. I'm going to get into healing attunement. Okay, going to put do not fall. Okay, does somebody want to help me rescue Annie? I waved by her earlier. Okay, I'll go ahead and get this one Rune Keeper up, but we still have to rescue the hunter. Oh, it looks like, I guess all the orcs that were following us earlier, we cleared most of them out. They have not respawned. I think we are all alive again. This has been a hectic, I don't even know how long this has been. I was going to say like hectic 20 minutes, but that's what it feels like. It's been a crazy 20 minutes of healing, low DPS, running away from orcs, chasing orcs. Okay. We're all in, I hope. This time. I am in heal spec this time. Even with healed spec, I'd almost say we could maybe comfortably. It's really how comfortable I am, but pull the whole room. Although I don't know if we'd have much AoE that could take advantage of having that many targets. Like, we have classes with AoE, both the hunters have their Rain of Arrows stuff. Which, there's some mechanic with Rain of Arrows and resetting the cooldown. I forget how that works because they seem to have changed it so many times. I always forget what the current iteration of that is. There's also a recent bug fix with that apparently. But then the Rune Keeper has some AoE stuff, and I think some of it might not be target limited actually. But as far as I know, Rain of Arrows is like 10 targets or something. Okay, got a res. That's good. Okay, I think I got myself comfortably healed up. Let's get this burglar. I think the Rune Keeper is getting the ranged guy there, so it'll probably take some damage that I need to keep an eye on. So the Archer is almost down, and we still have the Overseer. I think the Overseer is the one that the person that joined the group switched characters real quick so we could get progress on that here for him. I think they needed the Overseer. And then I think that is actually all we will have today. It's been almost a 3-hour stream. That's pretty long for a Kin event. I guess I did start a little bit early, a little bit earlier than I forgot I did all the storage cleanup. At least gates don't attack back. They're like big damage sponges. And wow. Lewis Rider is 3:35 a.m. in the UK for you. That is very late. I don't know how people stay up that late, but I'm glad you decide to watch the stream. That is a very nice time. 1, 2, 3, 4 p.m. That is normal time, actually. Daytime. Okay, I think the hunters are porting us out. Hopefully it works. It did work. But yeah, I should have a couple quest turn-ins. I can also do some inventory cleaning. I should be filtering these things, but oh well. Lock some important stuff, which is some of the stuff, not most of the stuff, I guess. The earring is actually pretty nice. I do want to keep that for this character. Even if I don't play him much in the future, I could eventually get him to what, 105 and use that. Anyway, I have 4 quest turn-ins, and this should unlock the resource instances for this character, Squaronk and Tower of Teeth, if I so decide I want to do them on my Rune Keeper instead of my Warden. My Warden's the important one as far as progress goes. That's the one I will be doing, like throwing the Dread Tear and the stuff what I can in the future, but again, just wanted variety and to play something a little bit different. Yep. Even though I'm not sure I'll join all this Rune Keeper. Thanks for helping with that.
Must be defeated.
Save the tactical mitigation instance just in case. But yeah, I think that is all I really have for the stream. I already talked a lot about future content, so the plan, which things don't always go exactly to plan, but the plan is to stream Final Fantasy XIV tomorrow, and then LOTRO on Sunday, although that might be a little bit much. LOTRO on Sunday is like a 50% chance, I feel like, at this point. And then there is, on Monday, I plan to have the final part of the State of LOTRO video just talking about content, like recent updates and where we're going in the future, a little rundown on that. And that is pretty much all I have immediately planned. Again, if you have not seen, I did make a post in the community tab on my channel about an interview with somebody from LOTRO next week, if you want to submit questions and vote on that. And yeah, that is what is coming up as a review today. We did the Langruven group quests and unlocked basically the resource instances, which I don't know if I plan to do those on this character. We already did that for my Warden as well, but again, just wanted to play the Rune Keeper, the variety there. And it was all fun, so I hope you all also had fun with this stream and enjoyed that content. And if you did enjoy, please consider liking and subscribing for more, or becoming a channel member to support the content. And thanks for joining and chatting and watching, everyone.